Some things just go together. Wine and cheese, flowers in springtime, and yes, books and bottles. We pair your favorite author with your favorite drink. Your host of Books and Bottles, Benita Johnson.
Hi, welcome to Books and Bottles. I'm your host, Benita Johnson. This is your show, your favorite show, where we introduce you to an author and we pair his or her work with wine or spirit. We're here tonight with you with poetry, so I'm very excited. I'm sitting back, drinking my Douce, ready to get into this poetry. If this is your first time with us, welcome to our show. We're grateful that you chose to watch us tonight. If you've been here before, welcome back. We invite all of you to share. Please share. We want to grow our base, and we know that you and your friends and family will enjoy it as much as we enjoy coming to you. So tonight, I want to introduce you, as I said, to a poet. I've enjoyed reading her book, Things Left Unsaid, and I think you're going to enjoy some of her work as well. Miss Shundilyn Smith.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you.
Good. Oh, you're welcome. Good to see you face to face instead of
I know. Right? You're so pretty. Thank you so much.
Girl, that check clear yet? Thank you.
Yes.
So you're a poet. Just tell us how you start.
Yeah, so my name is Shundilyn Smith. I'm a self-published poet and author out of Oakland, California. I kind of started writing poetry. I kind of fell into it. So, all of us have a story, and I got tired of kind of being the victim. So instead of, being angry all the time, I decided to start writing. And when I started writing, it just flowed, just freely. And, by the end of, a few months, I had like a stack of papers, and my mom's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, just like my thoughts and feelings and stuff like that." And she was like, "You should publish it." And I was like, I was kind of doing it, just to vent and, to relax, get things off my chest.
Kind of a personal healing for you, right?
Yes, definitely. So I was like, if you publish it, you kind of make yourself vulnerable with, everybody, the entire world, whoever picks up your book. So I didn't know if I wanted to do that. I was kind of hesitant. And she was like, well, get to a good stopping point. And then if you want to, you should publish. And once I got done, right, like, go, Mom. Once I got done,
though. Just to be, as vulnerable as like showing your work. It's like somebody's seeing you naked almost because you're telling all of your feelings and your thoughts. So it's very brave of you. So congratulations. And I'm grateful that your mom encouraged you to put it out there.
Yeah. When you say being naked, I feel like, I kind of just opened up my shirt and exposed my heart to people.
Yeah, you did.
Especially like when you do things in private, you don't expect anyone to see it, so me just writing down everything in private, like now she wants me to share this with the world. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, I'm gonna publish. And when it was time to publish, all of the publicists and the illustrators and the editors, they were like, oh, $700, $1,000, whatever the case is. And I know that,
But you mean to edit it or?
Yes. And so I'm like, I know people, they put a lot of time and effort into it, so they want to be paid what they're worth. I understand, because I want people to purchase my product for what it's worth. But I was like, whew, all of this money, and what if I want to keep publishing? Let me find out how to do it myself. So I figured out how to do everything myself, and now I'm a self-published author of 4 poetry books.
Congratulations. And I walked down the self-publishing journey myself. My daughter published her first book at 14, I think. And so I was like, all right, we're going to figure this out. And so she did a couple books, and then I did my own. But no more. So I'm calling on publishers to hit me up. I know one, we're kind of close. So I'm thinking he's going to hook me up.
For real.
So, you said something you said a few minutes ago, you didn't want to be a victim. And when I was reading your book, the one that I was given is Things Left Unsaid. Is that your first one?
That's my second book.
Okay.
So yeah, my first book is called A Piece of Me. Can you see?
Okay.
So that was, so the cover art, what's on the back, what's inside, like I came up with everything. The one that I gave you is my second book, and that is The Things Left Unsaid. That's what's
Okay. Because when I
Yeah.
was reading some of your pieces, I kind of felt like these were releases for you, and you were telling your story of your experiences in these particular situations. And
Right.
what makes it so therapeutic, and I don't know when you wrote it if you were even thinking about other people, but with some of the things that you talked about, it was almost relatable, whether we were in the same, situation as you. It was certainly something that you said that we could all resonate with. So when you
Right.
were writing, did you think about that? Like how it would impact or help other people? I won't even say just women, just other people.
Right. So, like I said, I kind of fell into it. So after I wrote my first book and I got like good feedback, I was kind of just like thankful for the feedback, but I was kind of like, a lot of the support came from family. So I'm like, well, they're going to support me, like whatever. But, this second book, I call it Things Left Unsaid because it's pretty much things that I wasn't able to convey or get out in the first book. So this one's a lot heavier than the first book. So, once I published that one and people started responding, then that's when I knew, like, wow, my words impact people. I'm not alone. Other people can relate. Like you said, we're dang near in the same situation or I had similar situations or, and like you said, men, women, children, whoever.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of knew when I wrote it, it was kind of like you said, like a dump, like a release. But it wasn't until after I got like feedback on the second book where I knew like, wow,
And it was very thought provoking because some of your poems were not very long, but they
Yeah.
put powerful thoughts out there. I mean, I think one that was called No, I think that was maybe 3 words, but it just was enough power to put it out there, to make somebody think and kind of feel and
Mhm.
hopefully inspire them to express what that meant to them.
Right. I always tell people, like when I do like pop-up shops or events, and they see books, when they go to events like this, they're looking for like makeup, candles, jewelry, things like that. So when they see books, I'm usually like overlooked. So I'm like, hey, come check me out, and I've had people tell me like, well, I don't read. I'm like, well, it's poetry, it's urban poetry, so it's written how we converse with each other. And, some of my poems are 3 pages and some of them, like you said, are just 1 sentence. So, it's not like you have to sit up there and read. You could read my book in a day. And like you said, very thought provoking and it's related.
And I'm just happy that so many folks are writing. I mean, I have
Mm.
stacks of books that folks send us, who want to be on the show. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful, that folks want to be on the show. And I'm just excited about things that we're exploring. We're not all writing the same type of book. We're delving
Yes.
into different genres and just different spaces. And I love it. So what's your favorite? I got 3 favorites. I don't know.
Ooh.
Do you feel like reading today?
But I always feel like reading.
Okay. So my first favorite. All right. So I'm gonna tell you my 3. Then you can tell me one. Right? No.
Okay.
But my favorite, the first one is called Why.
Okay.
So can you get that one for us?
Yeah. What page is it?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Let's
Isn't
see.
that awful?
Yes.
You can pick your favorite then. I know you know what page your favorite's on. I
Yes,
should have written down the page number.
Oh, it's okay. I'll look for it in a second. But why? What's your second favorite one?
Growing Pains. And my
Ooh,
third is You Owe It to Yourself.
yes. Okay. I'm flipping to see if I could find yours before I get to mine. Ooh, Growing Pains. I can read it for you.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys, this is Growing Pains out of Things Left Unsaid. It's page 37. So it says, Growing Pains. The hardest thing you will ever have to endure in life is growing pains. No. Not the ones that alert you that you are going through a growth spurt, but the ones where you have to let go of toxic relationships and no longer call them family. Or whenever you have outgrown a friend of 10 plus years and now you no longer see eye to eye. Those are the growing pains I speak of in life. You said why, and what was the next one?
You owe it to yourself. So but just to talk on growing pains for a second while you're flipping and looking for those.
Yeah.
I think we all get there and we all can relate to that. I am older than I was yesterday.
Right.
But so there are some people who, were in my life and they fit perfectly 25, 30 years ago, but they don't fit so perfectly anymore. We still love them, but they're not there. I like to say they're not on my front row. They're still in the audience, but we kind of shift who sits on our front row.
I use an old saying, you got to love them from a distance. That's that's really how it is nowadays.
That's true.
People always think, oh, I've known them since I was a little kid. Yeah, but y'all might not have the same vision or values in life anymore. And, me, I'm trying to be around like-minded people or people that's doing better than me so I can take some pages out of their book and continue to grow and elevate, climb the ladder of life.
Right.
So yeah, I agree. The next one is you owe it to yourself. So it says you stay there because it's been instilled into you that that's what you're supposed to do. But if the group you call family has no regard for you, your feelings, or your well-being, then stepping away from that group is something you should very well do. You have to protect you.
Yeah.
And that one, I feel like, pretty much what it said, as children, especially Black children, don't talk about what goes on in the house, respect your elders, and this is your family, your blood, and things like that. But, as I've gotten older, I realized like my family is who I choose to be my family, who is transparent and supportive of me, honest with me, loyal to me. They love me and I love them back, and it's genuine, where you don't feel no negativity or they're not always complaining when you go around. I don't want someone to drain me, I want to support into each other. So, I
had to make decisions as an adult about holidays. Holidays were always kind of obligatory visits to certain folks' homes. And, at some point, it's like you're dreading, it's like, oh, it's Thanksgiving again. We got to go here. And it's like, now, it's like, nah, I don't want to go. I ain't going to. I'm just going to, make me a turkey sandwich at home and I'm going to be okay with it.
Because you at home in your own space, you at peace, you don't got to deal with, nothing that you don't want to deal with.
Yes, right? The only person who can get on my nerves is me.
It's you. I can't find the why, but I will read you my favorite poem out of this. Okay. So this is titled Where I'm From. So it says, I am from milk and honey, from melanin magic and its lifelong struggles. I'm from the town, east of San Francisco, where 50% of the population looks like me, loud, vibrant, and free. I am from the Ruby Falls and the Northern Lights, fluid, colorful, breathtaking. I am from Respect Your Elders and Beautiful Brown Skin, from Tashawn the Superwoman and Michael the Hardworking Man. I am from a glow that can be seen shining bright from within an expensive, ageless skin. I'm from a time where my people lack political representation and are always being reminded to be mindful of our octaves, of our gestures, and physical appearance, because they don't like it, because they fear it, because they can end it. Shit, end us. In America, we trust, right? I am from Oakland, California, home of the hyphy movement, but my blood has migrated from Spokane, Washington, Dakota, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri. Fried chicken and greens from the song singing of James Brown lost someone in front of the entire family, bringing them to tears. 7512 Sunkist Drive. I am from a time where I have no choice but to break generational curses. The black sheep, from a time where I'm finally finding me and being okay with it. The oppressed Black girl, who bottled up all of her hurt and spilled these events onto pages, claiming it now is her book, Her Way Out. I am the one you always hear before you see. I am Black. I am proud. I am unapologetically me. I am love. I am light. And I am peace. I am the voice of my ancestors. Don't you see?
Oh, I love that. I love that. I mean, that represents so many of us.
Yeah.
And just how we feel and our place, in America. I've been doing a lot of I've joined 3 groups today, all expat groups in different countries, planning my exit strategy. So
right.
I love that. So listen, we're gonna invite somebody else to join us to the show. This person, Samantha Danielle, is my sister in the wine. So, hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you ladies doing?
Good. Yeah. Welcome to Books and Bottles.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Shundilyn, those were beautiful. I definitely resonate with the growing pains. I was like, I'm about to cut some people off.
You gotta cut it loose. Right.
But that was good enough. But it's great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So what city do you represent in Wine Crawl?
Chicago. Yeah, where it all started. Where it
all started. You're like,
yeah, absolutely. And Wine Crawl Chicago has just a great following. It's an amazing group of people. We really, missed it during COVID. As I know, we all missed a lot of things.
Sure.
But, we really missed it during COVID. So hopefully we'll be back in full force this upcoming summer.
Okay. How long have you been involved with Wine Crawl?
Since the very beginning. So the person that started it, we met and we became friends. And at the time I was a wedding planner. Okay. And so he was like, I'm starting this event, but I just kind of need like some help with organizing it. And I was like, sure, I can wrangle people on and off a bus, kind of do it like for wedding guest transportation, right? So I was at the very, very first one more as like a logistics coordinator. And then moving forward, here we are. I co-own it with my girlfriend in Atlanta. So
okay. So we can shout out the founder. He's loved here, Mr. Glenn Murray.
Mr. Glenn Murray.
We love him here. So
absolutely. He's like me. We do 50 million things. People are like, you doing what? What?
I know. I'm trying to bring it all in.
That's why we're such great friends.
So what are you sipping on over there tonight?
Well, I'm not sipping, but because not that I haven't done it. I didn't want to drink a whole bottle of champagne on the.
Oh, okay.
But it is my feature. So a little bit about me. There's a couple of reasons why I chose this, but I want to start out by saying, like I said, I was a former wedding planner, and I've since stopped doing that, and I've transitioned into champagne. So there's an organization called the Wine Scholar Guild, and they have different certifications that you can take. You can become a master of French wine, an Italian wine scholar. And so I chose their champagne track. So I actually studied. I took a trip to Champagne, France, took the exam twice, and I'm officially a master of champagne.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
So I'll be segueing into, I still come back to the wedding industry, but more so from a product base versus service. So that's my next project. But tonight I chose Champagne Bollinger for 2 reasons. The first reason is I wanted to celebrate Shundilyn as a female author. I'm going to sit this back before I drop because I'll be crying.
Right. You see my face.
I want to celebrate it as a female author. And then also in celebration of like Women's Month, and yesterday was International Women's Day. And so a lot of being a master of champagne, I have this like random knowledge that people don't care about. Like when it comes to alcohol altogether, people are like, do I like it? Does it taste good? What's the alcohol content, right? But when you become a master of champagne, you know all these random facts. So one of them is that there's what we call the widows of champagne. So these are women whose husbands started these champagne houses, and like Bollinger was started in 1829. But then their husbands died either from illness or there was like a lot of wars in the Champagne region. So there are these women who had to take over these houses. So a lot of people drink Clicquot, right? And so she's a widow. Madame Pommery is a widow, and so is Lily Bollinger. After her husband died, she ran the company for 30 years. And I had the pleasure of visiting the house when I went on my trip to Champagne. They're in what we call the Marne Valley region, in a village called Ailly, which is really known for their Pinot Noir, right? And so that's kind of like another technical thing a lot of people don't know is that there's 7 authorized grapes in the Champagne region. There's the main 3, so like Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Pinot Meunier. And so when I went to this house, it just gave me appreciation for wines that are processed in oak barrels, and just their process overall as far as the Bollinger line of sparkling wines. I find them to be like mild, fresh, and fruity. I mean, their rosé is my favorite.
And folks don't think about champagne. We think about it a lot as celebratory and as an aperitif, but it goes so well with food.
So the best pairing in the world is champagne and fried chicken. Okay. After that is champagne and French fries. So, I think I need to start like fried chicken Fridays or something and like.
And talk about it. I went to, you mentioned Veuve Clicquot in Raleigh at their Contemporary Art Museum. They had the representatives from France come over.
Nice.
We did a food pairing with this James Beard Award-winning chef. I can't remember that young lady's name.
Yeah.
But, we just don't think about it all the time with food. But, I love food. I love wine. I love champagne. I love spirits and all of it,
Right.
Can be paired with food,
Me too. And it can be. And I think part of the reason with like sparkling wine is that, within that process, you get that carbon dioxide, which gives it the bubbles, right? And so then if you drink a lot, you start feeling full. It's like beer. Like you start feeling full and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times that's the reason why people don't think to pair it with food. But if you sip it slow, have it with your entree, it pairs really, really well.
Yes,
really well. So, and like I said, of all the widows that I could have chose, I chose Bollinger because she has one of my favorite quotes, and I think it went with Shundilyn's book. I didn't get a chance to read it, but even hearing your poems tonight sort of solidified my choice. And it's not a poem, but it's a quote by Lily, and I have it here. And she says, "I drink champagne when I'm happy and when I'm sad. Sometimes I drink it when I'm alone. When I have company, I consider it obligatory. I trifle with it if I'm not hungry, and I drink it when I am. Otherwise, I never touch it unless I'm thirsty." Right? And so this is one of my favorite quotes, and I need to put it up in the house because, as you're going through, things that haven't been said, right? Or you're sad or you're happy, right? It's just a reminder that there's always an occasion to like celebrate,
Right.
So that's why I chose this house. That's the first reason.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah. And then the second reason is it goes back to being brave. Like in her book, right? In order to say things to people, sometimes you got to build up the courage, right? To have those conversations. And so I wanted to play off of like liquid courage. Which is not always good. It's not always good to use that liquid courage, but Champagne Bollinger, you can see on this box, it's a James Bond edition box, right?
Okay.
And so in the movies, I don't know if you watch a lot of James Bond films, but he had a lot of affections, right? And so one of his affections was women, of course, and then the other was Bollinger Champagne. And so when you go to visit their house, they actually have like a James Bond exhibit to pay tribute to him. And they have a dedicated area for that. So the special cuvee in the bottle that I showed you, it's really complex. It's a complex recipe. It's a blend of like 3 consecutive years of their wine. They bottle it in magnums. And so magnums are basically So this is a regular size. So magnums are 3 times the size of this, and so that's really kind of like an obsolete practice in the Champagne region. But they're one of the few houses that have done it since the 1800s, and they continue to do it. So again, that's the reason why I chose it, right? Because life is complex, and then you have these complex situations that you sort of have to get through, and so. That was my second reason for choosing that particular cuvee from the house to pair with Shundilyn's book.
Okay.
So I hope you guys go out and get it and taste it. You can get it at like Benny's. I don't know if you can get the 007 edition because this was special. But you can definitely get it at,
we can find it.
For sure.
We'll find it. I'm sure Shundilyn can find it. She's in California. They have everything over there.
Oh, absolutely. So. Absolutely.
And I'm close to DC, so we can find it.
You'll find it for sure.
So I appreciate you for coming on. How can people get in touch with you for a wine crawl, or if they want to hire you, this new master of champagne person, to come and do a champagne talk or tasting?
Absolutely. So for Wine Crawl, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Wine Crawl Shy. And I am terrible. I should know the URLs. I think it's Wine Crawl Shy. And then personally, you can find me at Sam's Champagne Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to hit you up. Because look, I'm always thinking, right? Because I'm a wine scholar girl too. And I'm supposed to be taking my Spanish.
I've
done the coursework and I've drank lots of Spanish wine. I just need to match what's on my taste buds to that knowledge. And so I got to go back and read those books and look at those videos. I can get in the mind.
I'm big on education. When I became a wedding planner, like I went and got certified. And then the same thing with wine. I wanted to, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm going to move into champagne. And it's not the same as like with weddings. People are like, oh my God, I planned my wedding and now I'm a wedding planner.
Yeah.
No,
you're not.
So I didn't want to say the same thing with the champagne, right? Like, I poured so much champagne and I know so much about it. And it's like, you take these classes and you realize it doesn't matter how much you drink. It's like Game of Thrones. It's like, you know nothing, Johnson.
I know nothing.
I have a question, Samantha.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the Sam's Champagne Life, is that on all of your platforms, or is it just Facebook, just Instagram? Or?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I'm Samantha Danielle.
Okay.
And then on Instagram, it's Sam's Champagne Life.
Okay, I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll follow you back, of course.
Books and Bottles is all about making these connections, so we appreciate it.
I love it.
Our time is wrapping up. So, Shundilyn, did you have one more poem you want to read before we get out of here?
Yes, please.
Let's see. I'm going to just flip the page.
Just flip the page.
All
Whatever
right.
you find will be the one we're supposed to hear.
Okay.
So while you're looking, I'll give our little tagline. If there are authors out there who like to be on Books and Bottles, you're invited to email us at info@groseprod.com. Send us your book or the title of your book. We'll get it read, and hopefully we can schedule you for the show.
Okay. So this one is called New and Improved. So it says, so many people have gotten different versions of me, so I can accept their truth of my image and identity. But what I can't accept is when they come back years later talking as if they know me now. Let's be clear. You don't know me. You knew me. And holding on to your past perception is hindering you from getting to know the new me, the true me, the grew up and got it out the mud, educated me. Not some little lost girl looking for acceptance, but the one who stopped following and found her own direction. And that's what I've been trying to explain all along. But people just can't fathom growth and moving on. So now I've decided to protect my soul, my energy. So you, if you see me and can accept the new and improved me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
I feel like I should snap. Do we
Yes,
still do that?
Yes.
So tell us, how can folks find your books?
Okay, so my website is poeticallyalive.com. I'm also available on Amazon. If you just type in Shundilyn Smith and like book, all my books will pop up and other books that I'm featured in. Like I said, I am a self-published author of 4 books. I'm Dylan the Poet on Instagram, DILYNTHA Poet on Instagram, and Facebook, Shundilyn Smith.
So again, we appreciate you. We appreciate you, Samantha, for being on the show. Authors, hit us up at info@GRoseProd if you like to be on. Remember to share the love. All right. Mm-hmm. So we'll see y'all next week on Books and Bottles. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Checked out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free